Going on? Good afternoon. We're back with my friend Aldo from Crusades of Motivation. What's up, Aldo? How's it going, brother?
Oh man, it's going amazing. It's going amazing, man. I had a great morning today. We get that workout in. I see you got yours too. We get this
Yeah,
money,
we got
man. Thank you. How you doing?
absolutely good. Good. I had a good workout this morning. I did some chest and triceps here at the old dog pound in the garage. I saw you at your local YMCA doing a nice hit class. That was good stuff. Something a little different, right?
Oh
They work you
man,
hard
yeah.
over there. They
Oh
work you
my
hard.
God, man. Those fucking ladies, bro, man. Those ladies are some hard workers. I could barely keep up. It's fucking amazes me how hard that class was. But shout out to
Yeah.
them, man. That was a great workout. Hey, we need this, man. We gotta confuse the body. We always gotta try different things so we can grow. The hard work.
That's a good point. You can't be comfortable all the time. We tend to gravitate, and it's not only fitness, but it's everything in life. We always gravitate to stuff that we're comfortable, that we feel more comfortable with, right? And
Hmm
it's when you get out of that comfort zone, when you go to the YMCA and you jump in one of these hit classes with a bunch of women, and it's taking everything you can to keep up with them. I mean, it's a good time. It's good stuff. But I mentioned to you too. I've actually taken them before, and they're very humbling. I'll give you that much. You know what I mean? When you get in there and you see, because there's a lot of cardio, and we talked about it's a lot of lower body stuff. Jumping up and down, legs. So yeah, it's definitely out of your comfort zone, but good stuff. Definitely good stuff. Um, which kind of leads to what I wanted to to you about today. So let me ask you this question: Do you know anybody or know of people, uh, you know, that have, say, inherited some type of money or inherited something or given something? Say, in my case, I know some people that I'll talk about that had a family business. Say the parents or someone in the family had a business,
hmm
passes away, and then the business goes on to, say, a son or a daughter, or you know what I mean, some of the children. And one of the big things is, when people hit the lottery. You always hear these stories about people hitting the lottery, and what
hmm
do? They blow the money. Within a couple of years, they're broke, right? So to my point, like about, say, if you inherit money, a lot of times people, and I've seen it many times in my life, many times where people will come into some money that they didn't earn, right? And they had no idea what to do with it. And at the end of it didn't take them too long to just piss it all away because they didn't understand the value of it, right? And I know some people that, again, in the town that I grew up in this one instance, I'll give you, it was a sort of like a bar restaurant, very popular in town. And the father, he came from nothing. And, the story he told was, I just got tired. He had his kids and they were living in a housing project. And he said, I got tired of having nothing. I wanted something good for my kids. Anyway, he goes and he works hard and he starts this business and becomes very popular in town. It's like a pizza joint, pizza and beer and, a bar restaurant. On the weekends, you couldn't get in the place. So he did that and it became very successful, made a lot of money doing that. He gets up in age, he gets sick, and he leaves the business to his son and daughter, who were pretty much handed everything and never really worked as they were growing up because by then the father had become successful. Uh, you know, but anyway, they take the business over, run it into the ground.
hmm
They were always at odds. The brother and sister didn't like each other. They fought over who should get more of the inheritance and things like that. But anyway, it didn't take too long for the two of them to just destroy the business. They boarded it up and it was done,
Oh,
right? So, and the reason in the way I look at situations like that, and again, getting back to people with the lottery, if you have nothing and all of a sudden you get this windfall, and it's not across the board. There's always going to be exceptions to the rule. There are certain people that might do the right thing, but generally, if you don't have an appreciation for something, if you haven't worked for it and realize how valuable it is, right? And you don't have that appreciation, it's very easy to lose it and just or give it away, or you know what I'm saying. um
hmm
So yeah, have you ever come across that? Anybody that you know, have you ever seen that?
Yeah, but actually, one of my uncles, man, he had a tortilla business, right? So they make tortillas. He have like a tortilla factory. But
Hmm.
and this shit is funny because the opposite happened with him and my cousins because well, not the girls actually, but he will do to the male cousins. He will make him work as hard as he, when they coming up, in age, maybe 12, 13 years old, then he start bringing them into the factory, and they start by he built them, and you know what, those guys became successful in that business. And I think now that you put that point on here, I think it's because he showed them the hard work, because he started them when they were young, and they will start to pick up the tortillas, pick them up, stack them, and pack them. And I mean, he started from nothing, man. He started with one machine, then he saved, and then he got a bigger machine, then he got a building. I mean, this man became very successful, and
Right.
with the years, then now my cousin took over the business, and I mean, he's doing great. And that's family that I'm not really too close to, but I hear about him, here and there. And but I think it was the process of them seeing the business from the bottom up. Then he start picking up the tortillas. Then he start helping with the accounting, with the money. And I mean, I
Hmm.
think it's because he taught him the value. But this is so important, man. And that's something that we're losing in our society now, where we're not teaching our kids how much. Like I see it in my family.
Right.
We're blessed, man. We have a home. There's always food in the fridge. There's
Right.
like I know it's my kid being a brat sometimes, and I'm like, yo, Rome, you gotta be aware of this. Sometimes I see the fridge and I open it and I'm like, oh my God, thank you God for this full fridge, I'm like, and I
Absolutely.
show it to him.
Right.
I'm like, Rome, you see this? This is a blessing, man. There's a lot of people out there that have nothing on their fridge. They don't even have a fridge. It's the
Right.
value of things
Absolutely.
is very important.
Yeah. And I think your story with your cousin is the total opposite of the story I told, because the kids in the story that I told, the kids didn't work in the business. The kids
Hmm.
weren't there alongside the father building it up and actually getting their hands dirty and doing the work, right? So
Yeah.
when they finally got this windfall, now all of a sudden they have this successful business, they don't know what it is, the inner workings, the hard work that goes into doing it. They just thought they were going to get the key to the place, and that was going to be it, and they were going to be live happily ever after. But in your case, if you have the kids who came up and they saw,
Hmm.
they appreciate the amount of work that goes into it, right? So the reason why I asked that question was because obviously you and I are all about the health and fitness, and
Hmm.
the people that we associate with for the most part. And if you're watching us, I'm sure you have some interest in health and fitness. So I wanted to translate it to your health, our health, right? So a big thing now is weight, is people are overweight and obese.
Mm.
It's a pandemic, it's an epidemic, whatever term you want to use, it's out of control. People are so sick, so overweight, uh, and I don't know what the end result is going to be, but I see there's very very few people that have a willingness to put the work into their health and fitness. We always talk about how everybody wants the quick fix. We talked the other day. We talked about bariatric surgery, right? That the amount of people
Hmm.
that are getting these surgeries, uh, and people are now they're taking the drugs, the Ozempic and the Wegovy, and they just feel if I just inject this stuff into my veins, into my ass, my arm, wherever you put it, I can eat what I want. I can be skinny, and this and that. So my theory is, and the way I look at it is that if I were to come to somebody and say to them, "How do you want to look? If you were to have your perfect body, give me the perfect dimensions, and
Mm.
I'll give it to you tomorrow. You'll wake up tomorrow, and I'll give it to you." My contention, my contention is this: that
Mm.
if one of us had the power to do that for people, and we went around doing it and said, "What do you want to look like?" "I want to look like that supermodel." "Okay, you got it tomorrow morning." My contention is that within 6 months or whatever, however long it would take, not very long, that person would be back to what they were
Mm-hmm.
because they don't know what it is to work for it. How are they going to maintain that? I can give you that,
Mm-hmm.
right? But how are you going to maintain it? You don't know because you didn't work for it. You don't know what it is to do it, right? So if we talk about the bariatric surgery, somebody that's 500 pounds obviously has serious issues. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? Whether it's you want to say food addiction, some type of mental illness, or I mean, you can go on and on and on. How did they get to be 500 pounds? But their solution is put me on a gurney, put me on a bed, wheel me into the operating room, knock me out, cut my stomach out, put a sleeve on, whatever you have to do, shrink my stomach so I can only eat that much. And then you send them home. And then the people that stick to it for a few months, you have to lose weight because you're not taking in, it's physically impossible to take in that much food. So they lose weight.
Mm-hmm.
But over time, the stomach is going to stretch back out. And what are they going to do? They're going to go right back to what they know, right? And you look at the rate of people that regain the weight after having these surgeries because they have no appreciation of what it takes to first of all get back into shape to take care of your health and maintain that because they're not taught that. They're just given a quick fix, right? A miracle cure. That's the way they look at it. But how do you keep it? How do you maintain it? And you have people that we talked about. You get money, which and
Mm-hmm.
everybody thinks money is the most valuable asset on earth when it's
Mm-hmm.
actually your health. When it's your health, right? Because if you're healthy and you don't have money, you can go out and make money if you're healthy, right? But if you're wealthy, monetarily, if you have a lot of money and you're sick, what good is that money doing you?
Zero.
It's not doing shit for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, I had a conversation with a friend of mine the other day about this subject, and it really does. It makes all the sense in the world that if you don't place the value on it, what it's really worth, and really you can't put a number value on your health. It's the most valuable asset on earth. And if you're not willing to work at that and learn how to keep that and learn how to maintain that, you're going to lose it. Even if somebody would have magically give it to you, like if you won the lottery, you got the lottery. Like I said, I have a magic wand and I can give you the body that you want tomorrow. Okay, you have it. Tomorrow morning you wake up and you're going to look like that supermodel, even better. Now, what are
Mm.
you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it?
Fuck. 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 You'll become a millionaire first of all. Right away. You
Oh
you
my
have
God.
that solution, you'll become a millionaire because you will have some comeback clients that will come back
Oh,
just like a haircut, right?
oh
You'll be have some.
yeah.
That's a great point that you put it out here about. Yeah, you're right. You wouldn't know because you wouldn't know what workouts took you to have that chest that you want, those arms that you want. That you're completely right on that, and that's fucking crazy to really think that if if recently I think it's because we've been talking about this in our channels. You know how YouTube be, they feed you whatever you into, and this video came on there on my feed, and it was this fitness coach, and she was showing her journey, and she was talking about how she hit rock bottom basically because that's when people want to change, man. When you hit that rock bottom, that shit makes you want to change. So she hit rock bottom, and she went ahead and got the well. I thought it was the a masterpiece of what she did, and much admiration to her. She went and started working out, right? But she didn't see the results. Basically, what she's saying, it wasn't as fast as she wanted it, right? So she went
Right.
ahead and got the surgery, but then she never
Oh,
stopped working, Vinny. She never stopped working. So and I was like, oh my God, that's the solution right there. She never stopped working. But the thing is that she started off by working. She started off by working and by dieting, right? She started eating better. She started working out. She was seeing a little bit of change, but I guess she wanted it faster. She went ahead and got the surgery, But throughout this whole process, she was working out. And I mean, she looked amazing, man. She looked amazing, but she kept
Yeah.
on. And I think the secret was right there that she started off with the work. She started off with the work, and I'm like, oh my god, because once she said, because you know how they like show you the thumbnail, and it was her when she was 300 pounds, and there was her
And
now,
today, yeah,
and
the before and after,
I mean,
right?
she looks great. I'm like, oh my god, that's a crazy transformation. And but she was explaining how she did it. So it was the mix of the work, but very interesting. Now that you're talking about knowing how to earn it and how to get it, she
Mhm.
started with the work, and then she just it was just an aid with the surgery, and
Right,
she kept on.
right.
And I mean, she just looks amazing, and she's kind of famous, man. She always shows videos on that sled. She's a short hair girl. She's blonde and short hair, like bald head. I mean, and but I was like, oh my god, that was the formula, right? That's a great formula. But they should tell
Yeah,
you that, yo, you gotta work out. You gotta instill these habits first. You gotta
yeah.
change your
Well,
fucking diet, work out. Then okay, well, you wanna take that with just a little aid. It's just gonna help you to reach your goals, but don't rely on the fucking thing because that you're right. You're gonna have it, but
yeah,
then you're gonna lose it.
yeah, without a doubt. And uh, I think we even mentioned before they have that show, 600 Pound Life. And what they do is, anytime I've seen it, you have a guy that's 500, 600 pounds, and they'll tell him, you can't get the surgery until you lose 50 pounds. And they all start
Mm.
crying, oh, I can't lose the weight, but they send them home
Uh
and they
huh.
give them, a calorie restricted, maybe a low carb diet. And they come back and they lost 50 pounds.
Mm.
So my contention is, you just lost 50 pounds. Do it again, and then do
Mm.
it again. And you don't need the surgery, you know? Uh, but they'll go
That's
ahead and
true.
do it. And if you look at the rate, the rate, and again, I could tell you, when I was in my department, when I was working, 6, 7, 8 people off the top of my head that I know had that surgery. Every single one, every single person gained the weight back that they initially lost because of the surgery. You know, um, and it goes back to you have all these people today talking about wealth distribution, and we should take all the money from the rich and give it to the poor. And
Mm.
it was, I think it was that guy Jim Rohn, the self development guy.
Mm.
He said, well, if somebody hands you money, if somebody hands you $1 million, you better learn how to be a millionaire, because if you take all the money from the rich people and spread it out amongst everybody, in no time, all of those rich people are going to have it back because they know how to make it. These
True.
people don't. They don't know what to do with it. You know what I'm saying?
True. True.
So if you're just handed something, you don't know what to do with it, and you're going to
Mm-hmm.
lose it. And it's the same thing with your health. And with all these quick fixes, you're not. It's not even like you're handed your health. You might be handed, like, you talk about plastic surgeries and the bariatric surgery, and now the drugs for the weight loss, and crash diets, quick fixes, pills that people take. You're not working for anything. You're not working for it. You're just handed something. Uh, okay, so you fit in a dress for a wedding that you have to go to. Uh, you eat yourself sick at the wedding, drink yourself sick, and then you go home and you go back to everything that you were doing all along. And where do you wind up? Right back where you were.
Oh man,
Because
that's a great point.
there's no appreciation.
That's a great point that you
So
bring in here, Beanie, because this shit fucking bothers me, man. When I hear this shit from people, they have an event like that, right? They have an event, they have a fucking wedding, they have a whatever the fuck, they have a big event, and they work so hard. And this fucks me up, man. They work so hard for this fucking event, right? 2, 3 months. They get the way, they be looking good, right? And then the event fucking passes, and they beg. How can you come back though? Why would you do that to yourself? Really, that's I think you damage yourself more, your self confidence by doing this because you
mhm,
work so hard and you accomplish this one thing, and then why
yeah,
don't you just keep going on that road
Right.
because they feel good. I even ask people because there's been people, close to me that I see them doing these things, and they even talk about like, oh man, I feel so good, blah blah blah, this and that, this, that, and the third, and then the fucking wedding passes, and they stop working out, come back to the same habits, back to drinking,
Yeah. Yeah.
back to eating, and then I see them months later, and they just back to the same look, and I'm like, oh my god, but you just
Hmm.
have you just have what everybody wants, man. Because yo, everybody wants a nice body. There's not one fucking
Hmm.
person in this world that says they obese, they overweight, they whatever, that says that they happy there. They are not. If they tell that, they're just saying that because they don't want to feel bad about themselves. But if this really, how they say, grinds my gears, man. When I see these people, working out for 2 3 months, hard as fuck, dieting, doing all these things, and then to come back to the same thing again,
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
they
They rebound. They rebound. You're right. They gain that's a good point, David. A lot of people lose the weight, and that's why. And this isn't an exaggeration. They say the failure rate on diets, when people use that term, I'm on a diet, and
Mhm.
they always, they'll cut back what they're eating, they'll starve themselves, they'll do what they have to do, and everybody has a number in mind. I talk to people all the time. I
Mhm.
just need to lose 20 pounds. I just need to lose 30 pounds. If I could lose 25 pounds, I'll be good. Everything will be fine.
Mhm.
And then what, though? If you lose the 25 pounds, and then what? And then what do? Right? You gain it all back. You lose 25, you gain 30. It
Mhm.
happens. It happens, if not to everybody, to 99% of the people, because they do it the wrong way. Like, again, they look for the shortcut, they look for the hack, just to do it, the women, just so I could squeeze into that dress. If I lose 20 pounds, I could get those Spanx on and get myself in there, and then I'll go to the wedding and eat myself. I'll gorge myself, and then I'll go home. I'll pop off the Spanx. I'll bust out like a can of Pillsbury muffins, and I'll go back to my life, eating and drinking the way I want, and crying about how, I want to lose weight. But I think you just said it, too. A lot of people will give you that false. No, I'm okay. I could lose like 20 pounds, but I'm good. I'm okay. No, you're not.
Mm-mm.
No, you're not. If you're overweight, you're aware of it, and you don't want it.
Mm-mm.
You don't want that extra weight. But you don't want the extra weight, but what you don't want more is
Mm.
to do the work to get rid of it. You know what I mean? You
Mhm.
you you don't want to do the work even more. Like, you'll take the excess body weight over doing the work, and being uncomfortable. You know.
Now,
So.
so okay, so you're saying this, and you're right. Yeah, there's a lot of that. Like, I just want to lose 20 pounds. I just want to lose 30 pounds. So, on your experience, because you deal with people in this matter, right? You help a lot of people to get their weight loss and get some muscle. So, in your experience, what do you think should be the the right mentality? Because I believe myself is the mentality, right? Why do you think it should be the right mentality to go into this? Like, when people say, "Yo, I'm tired of this shit. I wanna change." What
Right.
will you tell somebody? What do you tell people when they tell you, "Okay, so I wanna just lose 20 pounds"? And some people put this there like that on their sentence. I just
I
wanna
just
lose 20. Yeah, I just wanna lose 20 pounds.
that's
What?
that's
What?
exactly what they say. So my thing is this: when I talk to somebody, you have to say to them, you don't need to just lose 20 pounds. You have to learn what made you gain those 20 pounds.
Mm,
And then we have to stop doing that. And then we have to build new habits in place of what you did.
mm,
Right. And I've said to people, you want to lose 20 pounds. You think you need to lose 30 pounds. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay. Have you tried? Oh, yeah, I tried to do this, but it didn't work, and that didn't work. Okay. So if you're talking to me, whatever you did, whatever you tried didn't work, and what you're doing is keeping you 20, 30, 40 pounds overweight, correct? Yes. Okay. So are you willing to try what I tell you?
mhm.
Because what you're doing, we can both admit, and you can admit to me that it's not working for you. Whatever you're doing, it's not the right thing. So you have to do something different. Are you willing to do something different? for as long as it takes, and to build new habits, because and you have to impress upon them that you have to change. This isn't, it's not like you're gonna not do what you were doing and do something different until the scale goes down to a magic number, and then you think you're going to go right back to what you were doing. You
Mm-hmm.
have to have a willingness. You have to have a willingness to change, and that's the problem. Most people aren't like. And I'll be honest with you, like if you told me 15 years ago you could never drink alcohol again in your life, and I'd be like, fuck that. I love to
No
drink. I
shit.
know you have to drink if you want to go out. If you want to go out and have a good time, you have to drink. You
Mm.
have to drink. And now the thought of going out and getting drunk is so it makes me sick to my stomach. I would never do it. I have no inclination to do it. It never did anything good for me. You know what I mean? I tell people anything bad that ever happened in my life, if not everything, a good portion of it had something to do with alcohol. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So my point is, you know what I mean? You had your time. Whatever you were doing, you had your fun. Now you're 20, 30, 40 pounds overweight, you're pre-diabetic, you have a fatty liver, it's not working. So you can't do that anymore. And you have to go do something else and change your life. And if you're not, and never go back to that. Otherwise you're going to wind up where you were. If you're not willing to do that, I can't help you. I can't.
Okay.
Just go do
Okay.
just go get some Ozempic.
Mm.
Go get your stomach cut or whatever you want to do. Go take diet pills, and keep doing what you're doing,
So you're very
because then
clear
you're
with
going to
that.
have to deal with the sickness. You have to be. You have to be, because otherwise you're spinning your wheels.
Mm.
You know, and it's hard. It's hard. People are addicted to the comfort. I always say, the comfort, the convenience, and the consumption. They want their food, they want their booze, they want to be comfortable, they want everything to be convenient. They want it now. They want it yesterday. They don't want to work for anything. That's why it's such a breath of fresh air when you find somebody that really does put in the work and you see them transform their body, see them
Oh
transform
man,
their life. And I have a lot
definitely.
of respect for. I have all the respect in the world for people like that, because I know it's hard. I know it is. I know it is. But again, we're talking about your health. I don't care how hard it is. You're talking about the most valuable asset in the world. And why would you not work for that? Why would you not put the work in? Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. Why would you want a life of going to the doctor, with their whack-a-mole medicine? Oh, you have a symptom, here's a pill. You have another symptom, here's an injection. You have a symptom, here's another pill. For your whole life. They don't cure you. You just get worse and worse and worse. And you're living on their pills. And you talk about these doctors as if they're geniuses, as if they're some type of god. Oh, my doctor gave me, I have GERD. It's a disease. You know what I mean? Because I have acid reflux and it's a disease. No, it's
Uh-huh.
not. It's because you eat and drink like a fucking animal in plain English and you won't stop. And all
Mm.
your doctor's doing is giving you a pill that's going to make your stomach stop producing acid, which is going to cause a whole nother litany of
Yeah.
problems in your life. But
Yeah.
but if you go to the doctor and you say, "Oh my God, doctor, it wakes me up, and I have heartburn, and I have GERD, and I have this and that," and the doctor says, "Here's some Nexium," and you go home and you take it, and you go, "Oh wow, I don't feel that now. My doctor's a fucking genius, Aldo. My doctor, my doctor's the best. This guy's the best. Fuck out of here."
No, man, there's this big saying, man. That's this saying. I remind myself a lot of times. So it says, uh, a healthy man have a thousand wishes, a thousand goals, right? A healthy man have a thousand goals. A sick man has only one.
Correct. Absolutely
And
true.
I heard that fucking saying, it just blew my fucking mind. Like, it's so fucking true, man. It's so true. We take this for granted. We have it every day. We're walking, we're breathing, we're doing, and we don't appreciate it. And like you said, man,
No.
with this you can do so much. Without it,
Yeah.
you're in shit. You really in shit, man. Really, you
Nothing.
lose a fucking. I remember not too long ago, man. I jammed my toe, Beanie. Just a fucking toe, right? We had a birthday party, and I jammed my fucking toe, man. I couldn't walk. I'm like, oh my God, this shit fucking sucks. I was limping, you know. I remember we went. It was actually my son's birthday. We went the next day to. We have this tradition. We go to a park. We go to a water park. Oh my God, I was on a fucking walker. You know those like where you see your knee on and you gotta fucking roll on the fucking thing. Oh my God, I'm like my fucking just my toe, right?
Yeah,
I'm like, oh my
right.
God, just my fucking toe, man. It's just a little piece of my body. You see?
Yeah, yeah,
And those are the
yeah,
things that I really and look, man, I ain't shit, right? I ain't nobody, man. But I be really paying attention when people talk about these things, and I'm like,
yeah,
I gotta remind myself that. And when these things
yeah.
happen, I thought about that saying. I'm like, oh my God, that shit is so real. You don't have a little piece of
Absolutely.
you, man. You know, some people get their leg cut off.
Yeah,
I mean, shit, and this sometimes it's because of things like that, right? Like we know this person, man, that my wife helps. She helps, and she has this. Man, I forget the name of the disease, but they get their legs swollen. Her legs are just get swollen, right? But I'm like, yo, I bet if she changes her diet, it's gotta help because she's overweight and that she can barely walk, right? She can barely walk, man,
yeah,
and she's already overweight. She had this disease, and I'm like, oh man, I tell my lady, I'm like, I bet if she changes her diet, that will
yeah.
help
No doubt.
because she'll weigh less. It's gonna be easier on the legs, and who knows, man? You might get cured. Like I heard of many people that cure themselves by just changing the diet. Like I hear people going into a juicing, right? They go juice for
Hmm.
30, 60, 90 days, and they get rid of
Yeah,
cancer, man.
yeah. There's so much anecdotal evidence out there, and people will still, if you suggest something like that, if you talk
Hmm.
about something other than the mainstream, you
Hmm.
know what I mean? God forbid you have cancer, and the first thing they do is chemotherapy, chemotherapy. But if you talk about some other alternative, you're a quack. You're going to
Hmm.
kill people. But if you look at it's again, we can go on and on about it. But mainstream medicine doesn't cure things. It just keeps. And the woman you're talking about, if her legs are swelling up, uh, more than likely she's retaining fluid. That goes
Hmm.
back to, a lot of times it starts with the diabetes, and then the heart disease, the liver, and everything starts going. You know what I mean? And your body's not functioning correctly, and you do. Because my mom went through that. Her legs would swell up like you wouldn't believe, and it was because her
Hmm.
heart wasn't working right, and the kidneys start going, and your body retains the fluid. You get that edema, like you just. And
Hmm.
then again, they're not curing anything. They're giving you diuretics to get rid of the water, which isn't curing it. It's just going to make your body get rid of the water. You're on diabetes medications. You're on blood pressure medications. You might wind up on kidney dialysis. You have neuropathy, nerve damage. It just goes on and on and on. But they're never going to cure you. They're just going to keep you alive, right? Long enough to get all the money out of you, and they'll put you in the hospital. And they'll put you in the hospital. And once the insurance stops paying, then they tell you you're well enough to go home. But
Man.
as long as the insurance is paying, they'll keep you in that hospital, as long as they can. But yeah, anyway, guys, health is the most important thing. You got to work for it. Anything in life, you have to work for it to appreciate it, especially your health, which is the most valuable thing on earth. Aldo, let me just real quick go through the chat. I feel bad we haven't spoken to anybody. Donometric. Donometric. This is a little off subject, but if I do 200 push-ups a day, is that good? I'd say that's excellent, Donometric, if you do 200 push-ups a day. Right, Aldo? I think Aldo would
That's
agree with me on that one.
yeah, that's great. That's great. It's
No
better if you
doubt.
do 300 though. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
200 is
Donometric.
good.
Donometric, if you can do 200, you do 200, and call me back when you're up to 300. And I'm going to tell you that's even better. Right, Aldo?
That's right.
300
That's
is
right.
way better than 200. Of course, George is here. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
My bro.
David Jones, you're back. I saw you this morning, David. David was on my live this morning, too. Appreciate you, brother. Gusto. Gusto's in the house. Game Bros. Everybody check out Game Bros channel. Sunday mornings, 10 a.m. Eastern Time.
Get fit
GFTS.
and
Get
tight
Fit, Talk
shit,
Shit.
baby.
Good. Okay. I think we got to appreciate everybody being here. Guys, again, take care of yourself. Take care of your health. Be appreciative of it. Put the work in. You'll live a long, healthy life, hopefully. If you hit the lottery, don't piss it away. Call me. I'll take some off your hands if you want.
I'll help you out.
And Aldo, call Aldo and I, and we'll try and help you out. All right, guys. Everybody get your reps in. Everybody stay healthy. I appreciate everybody being here. And we're going to talk to you in the next one. Thanks, Aldo, brother. I'll talk to you later.
Hey, God bless you, everyone. Thank you.